Hey, Repo here. We are back out on, well, you know what? It's first time, other than a quick little look in the last video, of actually being in-game, going for a drive on the new Timber Creek mod map, which is going to be the map 2 to the Highway Haulin 3 region. First one is Middlebrook County. Now, it is out. I just did a update of a bunch of little issues that I knew about on the weekend. I don't think it's been approved yet, but hopefully that new update will be out to everyone soon. I think the only one waiting on the map approval is the Switch players, which always kind of seems to lag behind. Today we have John Hot Rod's F450 GGMS. We got one of the trailer packs. I'll link all the mods down below, and then we have the Nomad from Iceberg. So what we're going to do is just a quick run across here. Obviously I haven't done much with this. There are a couple videos before this one if you want to see how this area is built in a time-lapse video that I've kind of cut down from many hours of working away to some shorter, quicker clips, and anyone that's trying to learn the editor may help with. But what we're going to do is, I've been working on one area along the river. The last map was all highways, so we're going to go for a good off-road run this one. We're going to take the Nomad out. It is going to have a lot of rivers on this map. There's two big rivers here, and then there's going to be a whole bunch of little creeks and stuff that I'm going to add in that are going to kind of connect lakes to rivers and this and that. Lots of water, lots of swamps. This map is going to be a logging focused map. We're also going to squeeze a bunch of mining tasks in. You're going to come over from Middlebrook. This is going to be the only paved road on the map. The rest of it's going to be off-road, and this little trail that we're going to go for a run down give you a bit of an indication of what the roads are going to be like. Ultimately, the backstory on this map, I guess would be the way to say it, is that it's going to be an area that used to be logged, that you're going to come back out, re-establish things. There's going to be a ton of little logging trails, some slightly larger trails, lots of hills as you can see in the background. So there's going to be a bunch of switchback trails, you know, cliffside stuff where you could mess up and end up way down a cliff. A little bit of the Death Roads-esque, but not nearly that extreme. A lot of roads that I'm going to hide some of the trails so you can't see them on the map, but you may see them while you're driving around, and there's going to be dead ends, flooded out areas. Essentially, you're going to have to head out from here, set up some logging camp stuff out in the bush, which will spawn log loading zones eventually, and then you're going to be hauling stuff back to map 1. I had mentioned it in other videos, but I was going to put a small dirt airstrip on this map somewhere, and when you open the airport on map 1 Middlebrook and then do some tasks to this little airstrip, which is probably going to be removing some rocks and trees and kind of clean it up. When you complete those two contracts, you're going to spawn in a loading zone that's maybe going to give you some fuel, service parts, vehicle parts, something like that. Nothing too major, but a fun task to do, and then you're going to get a reward with a bit of stuff out in the bush here. You can see we've done well on the mud lay-in this time. I've got the Tune tires on this thing, and it's actually working it pretty good, so this isn't going to be an easy map. It should be a good contrast to map 1. I've had a few people say that the first one's kind of boring, and I did fair warn before it was released that it's not going to be its best as a single map, Middlebrook, but when we start adding in these other maps around, it's going to make a lot more sense. You'll probably enjoy being able to do a little road running over there after you've battled through some of these maps. Now the next map is going to be like oil drilling and a few things like that I would expect. And I haven't written it off, but I was considering doing maybe another winter style or high up in the mountains like Slip Rock Peaks that has half grass, half snow map as maybe the fourth map. We'll see. Let me know what you think on something like that. I know the devs are coming out with a winter region this time, which I imagine is probably going to be 2 maps. We'll see how it goes. I think once I'm done the HH3 region here, I'll probably do, it's either going to be an Aussie map or a winter map after this. We'll see what happens. So if you have any ideas that you want to see on this map for missions, again, logging and mining are focused. We have quite a few different cargoes for that kind of stuff. I could work in a few things like some fish survey stuff. We're going to do the seismic thing and find some mining areas. We have a few different, we have gold and silver and sandbags, because there is, besides mining, I believe I'm going to be putting like a gravel pit in here somewhere, which is going to be stocking the concrete factory back on map 1. I haven't decided if it's this map or the next one, but one of them is going to get a fairly decent sized port. And you'll see when I add this to the first map. I've said it before, like a lot of those factories that you're playing on Middlebrook are something you're going to have to build in the region before you get those loading areas. And upgrades, and I mean this map's going to be a ton of recoveries. Just kind of the layout, it's going to be a real off-road. Like I say, you're going to find better areas, and I will be trying to work in some missions that can improve the roads, at least the best I can. So you'll end up finding some decent routes to move around eventually, or working your way towards them. There's going to be a lot of scouting to start this off, and like I said, I mean, we're going to see mud, off-roading, probably not going to be any real rock crawling, although there'll be some trailing stuff, but I'm not going to be laying in 1,000 rocks like an expeditions map or something. Lately I've just been a lot more focused on doing these mission-based maps rather than crawlers. There's tons of crawling maps out there, and I got a whole bunch of mission plans. Did want to say thank you again, as usual, to my channel members, the Artful Codger and Old Tony 63. And I should have a copy of this map out for you guys to mess around on fairly soon, which would be available to channel members. So if it's something that you think you can do, let me know. Come join up and help me produce these maps. Input, testing, all sorts of fun. I'm very happy, like I did this relatively quickly. This is going to be a road. Probably a little more adjustment in the off-road side of it, but quite happy with the look so far. You'll notice as you get out, well, I guess you probably won't notice here, but there's actually taller and taller trees. I'm going to work some of the sequoias in, so over in the corner, maybe up on top of one of the hills, I'll have some really big trees and have to haul a few of those logs back. And where we're headed here is actually like an old mining camp. Now there's probably going to be a few things here, like maybe a fuel trailer with a little bit of stuff left, fuel left in it for you to find. Maybe some broken down vehicles, something. I'm going to try and put a lot of little points of interest like this in, Because again, some of this is going to be exploring. Like I may very well hide this road on the mini map, so you wouldn't see it unless you run into it, and then you're not really too sure where you're headed. Could be a dead end, could branch off to other roads. There's going to be a lot of connector roads. I really want this to be kind of a confusing one in terms of having to pick the right trucks and the right roads to do the jobs you have to do. There'll be a few big hauls coming in here for sure, and a bunch of little cottages and stuff around, and things to find, things to RP. Here we are, just kind of the startings of a rundown old camp that's been neglected. Anyways, this is where we're at. Look forward to hearing what everyone thinks about it, ideas. Thanks for watching. Appreciate the support.